Good morning, folks. Welcome back. Um, yeah, we're gonna do something a little bit different for me today, and we're gonna be playing with costumes, um, which is cool. We're also gonna be doing a bit more sculpting in Blender, which also seems kind of cool. Um, I do most of my sculpting on my iPad, actually, in Nomad Sculpt, but um, Blender has VDMs and Nomad Sculpt does not, and that's a huge draw for me. So. Um, Time to start learning it a bit more. And we're going to play with this guy. He will be the base. I went through yesterday and I created, he has the armor on him by default. Damn it. Okay. I thought I saved him without it. Well, it's fine. We're just going to remove it. So I like the pants. Maybe we'll leave the pants. I want to make some of my own clothes for him versus just using pre-made stuff. Um, and figure now's as good a time as any to start on that. Mhm. So this guy is one of our half human, half Falanti locals that we were talking about yesterday. Um, you can see he's got a little bit of a greenish cast to his skin. He's got sharper cheekbones and bigger eyes and a narrower nose than a lot of humans, but he could still be a human for sure. But um, but literally, I just took all of the Falanti dial rolls and dialed them in half. That made the most basic default local I could make. I could just call them locals from now on. Okay, so I don't know if the best thing to do is start with clothes or armor. Maybe clothes. Let's start with a shirt and make something. And I'm also, so there was a pretty major update to Simply Cloth, and it doesn't seem like they've updated the documentation very well for it yet. So I am not entirely sure how this will go. We will see. Simply Cloth attributes. Epic Cloth library. There we are. Often I find it good to start with something. I'm just going to edit it apart. So for a shirt, let's start with a shirt. Um, Maybe this. Are you thinking? Did you come in? There we go. Ah, you're there. Exactly. Put a shirt on. It's cold. If he's cold, if you're cold, he's cold. All right. Hey, Michael. So Alt G. And here's just a very default basic tank top. And we could just sew it together. I'm gonna make them a bit further apart from each other. We could sew it together and it would work. But we could also do some stuff to it first. We don't have to just use it as it is. And that's what it looks like. So I think the first thing we're going to do is mirror modifier it on the right and left. Okay, and now we should be able to just adjust it on both sides. And we can just do little things at first. So if we select like these two here, turn on proportional editing and GZ, and just bring it down like that. That's going to create a much longer, sleeve hole. Simple shit like that. Nothing complicated here yet. We don't have to do both the front and the back at the same time if we don't want to. So we could narrow that in like that there too. And if we play our sim, well, first off, let's set up our dude too. Our guy is going to be a collision. 0.001 and 0.001. Let's make it a bit wider so we can see this. It says. And if we simulate our object, we can see what we got. And we got a very tight shirt with a longer I don't know what you call it, sleeve hole. But what happens if we take, say, take these ones to here, basically? No. Actually, what if we do it this way? Can we do it? This might be interesting too. I haven't even tried this before. There's no reason we can't use the sewing lines and pull it out. And SZ and GZ. There we go. And we play again. And we get a slightly different looking shirt. I don't know if we could tell how different it is, but what happens if we take the whole shirt now and we scale it up? Rotation scale, and we play it again. And we get a very different feel to them now. And I'm liking those sweeps in like that. That's kind of neat. We can also go really crazy if we want to. Tab. Let's see what happens if we solo our sucker. And we need to apply our modifier now, our hops modifier. And now let's go from here to here and see. 3, C. And I'm just going to be a bit crude to start with, and we're going to fix it. Okay, there we go. And all of those. And we're going from there. Okay, cool. X faces. And then we go from here. No, get closer. K, from here to here. And we grab all of those. And this is what I mean by it can be easier to start with an existing thing. X faces. There were a couple leftovers. There were a couple leftovers. Cool. X faces. 2. Select those bad boys. You don't need them anymore. Done. Tab. Now, if we play, we slide off. So maybe we take this thing and we SX and we scale it in just a bit and play again. Make it tighter again. hangs pretty far. Another thing we can do is if we go back to our guy, we can change our friction on him a lot higher. Let's see if that helps. Yep, much tighter into him. That's kind of cool. Kind of digging on that. Let's go back. It's all just playing. And tab, and I am not a fashion designer. So, 4, 5, 6, 7 X faces. And the backside 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect spacing. Okay. And then solo it. We're on 2B. I got them both, I think. Yep. Do it twice. Okay. Yeah. I feel like every time I try to do something like this, I'm like Homer Simpson trying to design the car. It knows. It knows. So we've got it a lot shorter, but it's still pretty long. If we cut it a lot shorter, or we leave them like this, actually, I don't mind this. Maybe we'll leave this and go with it. We're gonna sculpt it too. So we've got it done. Now we just need to finish the cloth. And here, right? Okay, tab, no. Finish cloth. Where'd it go? No, this is new. All right, this is a change from before. Let's see if we can figure what it's doing. New version, working differently. Okay. Finish and apply cloth. Apply the cloth mesh as a static mesh. No. I want to edit the cloth mesh. Come on, can I do that now? No. Okay, what you doing? How have you changed my fabric software? I'm making clothes for a local. Trying to. Okay. Active. Bake settings. Is that how you do it now? Shouldn't need to bake it. I'm not sewing. Can I sew now? How have they changed this? No. Finish cloth. No, that's clearly not how you do it. Okay, what have you done? What have you done? I really wish they'd update the freaking documentation for this add-on too. Like if you're gonna make this many big changes, don't release it without updating it. It just pisses me off. Cloth finish. Yeah, that's what I want to do. And can I just clear the animation data? Will this let it work? No. You are annoying me. Um, let's see. Pissing me off. Always. I would never, if I were working on something that wasn't a personal project, you wouldn't be seeing it right now. That's just how it has to be. Shouldn't have to bake it. No. I'm annoyed. Sewing. Merge distance. Yeah. Okay. We can have it auto sew, I suppose. Looks like they've gotten a little better at that. Hey, if that works, it works. I'm good with that. Finish and apply cloth. Okay. Good. Cool. Now, whatever. I'm not sure I'm going to like that for the future, but we can use it for this. Cleanup modifiers. We'll smooth it on our own later. And okay. But yeah, if this were for a professional project, I just couldn't share it. So you wouldn't be seeing it if I was doing that way, which is fine. But, you know, now we're going to move it in. And let's actually use the dreaded and hated Eevee. It's the only time I ever use Eevee is when I'm doing this, because I want to see some colors. Oh God. Okay, so there are like a billion different kinds of concept artists. Saying concept artist is about as useless as saying doctor. So the answer is going to be it depends. What I am is I'm actually going to do it this way. I am a IATSE illustrator concept artist in the union. For me, jobs come one of two ways, essentially. Either I get on a show for the whole time, in which case it is a 60-hour week by default, but full time for the length of a contract. Or you get hired for one-offs where you're still kind of working those hours theoretically, but you're working on just a single project and then it's done. So like when I did the Batmobile for Batwoman, that's how that was. I got hired for 2 weeks to make the Batmobile. And then for Snowpiercer, I worked for 9 months on season 2 directly in the production office. In general, it tends to be more, well, video games tend to lie and say they're hiring you, but it's not because they'll fire you whenever. And TV stuff tends to be more contract based, but that's just in general. There we go. Still image. I don't make animations. I could, but I don't see the point mostly. I don't really enjoy it super much, so I would rather spend the time making a still image look good than you have to take shortcuts in what it looks like for render time for animation. That just annoys me unless I have to for something. There have been times I've made animations, like for like a simple spaceship in space or whatever, where it doesn't, it's trivial. But like my average render time for things that I like is like over 8 minutes a frame usually. And that's just, I'm not doing that for an animation. It's just not worthwhile. Go in. There we go. I'm tucking his shirt in eventually, obviously, but, and we're just, this is the fun of sculpting. You love it, right? We all do. It might be a little bit easier if I had more polys. I could topologize it, or subdivide it. That might make it a bit easier in this case. Maybe let's do that. Object mode. Let's give it a subdiv modifier of like control 1. Cool. And apply it. Go back to editing. Gives us more to play with at least. This is 20 questions. I don't know. I enjoy making pretty much anything. Um, I tend to work very realistically over stylized. I'm not a big cartoon maker, although I like watching them. Um, I actually got my start in animation, and I just decided that I like live action better. Um, there we go. That looks okay. But yeah, we got a little bit of blue there. Boop, go away. Boop being the term, right? And we are going to use his pants, I decided. We're just going to keep the Daz pants. Those were pants that I exported from Daz Studio and then converted over to use with um, Human Generator. We didn't get this solved there. Let's just fix that. Or does it? Oh. Tab 2 F. There we go. Good enough. And save. Let's make a dude. Oh, new 23 12011. Geez. Live stream local outfit. But yeah, I've done sci-fi, fantasy, horror, just straight up modern. I made the coffee counter for Good Doctor, and it was a lot of fun. Um, nothing wrong with that. Yeah, boop. It's the technical term. Absolutely. Don't ever ask me what a technical term is, man. Okay. Now that's a cool looking shirt. Wow, we got a little bit more intersecting there. Come on. Sculpt mode. No, I'm still in sculpt mode. Just sculpt mode. And oh, that's easier now. See, it's so much better in that sense when I have more polys. That's good enough, but I'll tweak it anyway. Save and layout. So he has his stylish, one sleeve shirt. Very stylish, which means we need to give him a big 40K shoulder pad on this side, I think. I think that is the requirement. I didn't make the rules. It's just the rules. And what do we want to use for that? We're going to sculpt it, I think. We have some armor already. These are some things I bought off of ArtStation. Excuse me, I believe. That are kind of armor platey. So we could take one of them and then modify it, or we could take a bug and turn it into armor because it's going to be chitinous, whatever it is. So the question is, do we start with armor and make it bug-like, or do we start with the bug and make it armor-like? I don't know the answer to that. But maybe we'll start with armor and try it and see how it goes. And then if we need to, we'll make it bug-like. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys can't see these. These are the things I'm looking at. That I just, like I said, picked up from ArtStation. And I think we'll go with just this simple 30 and try it because I'm not, again, 100% super great at this. And it's probably too big. It's definitely too big. Alt R 7 RZ. Just gonna rotate it around, scale it down, bring it over, bring it down, and bring it over and rotate it and maybe scale it up just a bit. It's a big fuck off 40K shoulder pad, basically. We'll narrow it in a bit and maybe bring it forward a little bit. You appreciate me say chitinous instead of chitinous? Yeah, it's chitin. It is a pet peeve of mine as well. So there you go. That's still really big. Let's bring it down. We can always scale it if it starts to clip in parts. We can just sculpt it out, which is I think what we'll do, because that looks better. Yes, I love it when things are made in different models where the base unit is this different thing. It's like, Blender, where the base unit is 1 meter. And I don't remember what that one was. Unit is 1 millimeter and it comes in 100 times too large. You're like, yep, that happens. Save. All right, let's make this thing easier. Control A, rotation and scale. Sculpting. And now let's pull them out a little bit. It also will help kind of make it a little less symmetrical, which on a bug-based thing, I think I probably don't want it to be super normal. Okay, so that's fitting to him better. It's looking okay. I'm going to bring that in. I'm just going to taper it in a little bit. I don't know why, but why not? Okay, and go back to layout. Now, this is just a flat plane right now. If we look at it, I believe it's single-sided. Let's see. 3. We can prove it. Is it single-sided? Yes, it's single-sided. So sculpting that's going to be a pain in the ass unless we give it a bit more first. Let's first off do a control 1, subdivide it 1, maybe even 2. Make it a bit smoother, easier to deal with. Then we're going to add a solidify modifier. It's not going to be that thick, but we do want to have some thickness. Like that seems about right. And then let's just control A, apply those. Save again. So now we have an actual object that actually has 3-dimensional thickness, which will make sculpting it a lot easier. It does not have an attachment strap yet. We'll deal with that later, I hope. We'll do our best here. And it looks like he's clipping to our personage. Let's give him a color as well. A viewport color of green. Now we can see it easier. And sculpting. And let's bring it up. Okay. There we go. Maybe I'm going to do a remesh on it of 0.005. Let's try that. Nah, maybe already more than that. Well, I'm going to go, just so I know what my remesh size is. 1. That I think I can live with. Yeah, that looks good. It's not smooth, but we can smooth it down too. Okay. So now we're going to do some stampage. And we don't have any cool brushes yet, but we can fix that with. I went on Blender Market on Monday and I picked up some VDM brush stuff, and they are helpful and cool. And I recommend having them. We're going to grab our Cirrhosis brushes and brush, and we're just going to grab the only ones we need so we don't get a ton of extras. Grab those and append them. Then we're going to append our Cordyceps brushes. Go for something a little mushroomy maybe too. And then we're going to append our where's our receptors? Receptor brushes. Organic receptors. And I made all, it was annoying. They gave me the EXR files for these, but I had to go and make all the brushes for them. So they did not come as brushes, but now we have them as brushes. So if we do this, we can get cool. patterns on it, which I think is going to be neat. And we're not going to do it yet. And the first thing I want to try doing, though, is just getting rid of that extra detail, because I don't really think we want the plates like that so much, but we wouldn't mind the impression of them. So I don't mind these ridges, but just to make everything a little bit smoother and more organic looking. Okay, now, ooh, that's kind of neat just to bump it out a little bit too. We can just do that. Just gonna, yeah. And now, go do this. We can start doing, I think these are the cirrhosis ones. Yes. Um, something like that. And then we can go with, come on, where are the other ones? Should be there. I appended them all. Cordy? They're the cordyceps ones. Okay, cool. I don't know why they're not all showing up, but so this is how we can get spikes out of it. Whee, it's exciting. Kind of cool. I don't hate that, honestly. And let's see, what's this one do? This is like a bigger central thing. Yeah. Although it looks weirdly like a penis clam here to me, but I don't know, that just says stranger things about me than other people. Maybe you should disregard that. But I don't want it to look super constructed. I want it to have that organic feel. Yeah, let's drag it. I love to sculpt on things like this because there's absolutely no wrong answer, because it's supposed to look asymmetrical and organic. If you're going to start playing with sculpting, try to sculpt things that don't have to look a certain way. Plants, weird bug aliens, that kind of thing. It's great for that because there's no wrong answer. You just kind of make it go until you like it. I don't like that. I don't remember how to cut in Blender, which is annoying. Clay, let's try clay and removing. I just want to see what happens. Shrink my brush down. No. I said I am not a Blender sculptor by any means. I do most of this, as I said, in Nomad, and I know how to do it in Nomad, but like I want to clip that edge here. And in Nomad, I would just use the trim tool, but I don't know where the trim tool is, if there is such a thing here. Flatten, let's try. Will this work? It's just garbage as a way to do it. No. Oh yeah, no, I'm not a sculptor either, so it's fine. Well, I mean, I am actually in Nomad. I like doing there, but in ZBrush, or sorry, Blender, not so much. Can I just do it? I just want to say if I can't. I'm kind of just ghettoing myself, but do that. X, dissolve vertices? Does it, are they still solid though? That's what I want to make sure. It's not a hole. No, not a hole. We're good. Okay, cool. I just brute forced it into object mode, basically. And now we can remesh it again and smooth that back down. Like, there's got to be a better way than that to do what I just did, but I don't know what it is. So, whatever. Smoothing this edge, which is ironically, while I'm smoothing it, it's adding some more irregularities to it, which is what I want. Okay, yeah, see, we lost a lot of that texture because we're too high res in our remesh. So we could go even more, 0.00005. But the more you go, the bigger it gets. And I think I may have gone pretty far here. I don't know that I needed to go this far. I think I may have had one too many zeros by mistake. Let's see. Where are we at now? 25 million, that's probably a bit much. Let's go back out. Let's remesh to 0.0005. Is that what I was? 3 zeros and a 5. It's 2 zeros and a 5. Let's start there. See what it does. No, got to be at least 3 zeros and a 5. So where my dyslexia kicks in, I'm like, how many zeros do I have? I don't know. There we go. And that's pretty small. What are we up to? It's close to 1 million faces. That's all right. Okay. And come back and we'll do some more. You can see we got some finer detail here now. And maybe we'll go back to one of these. And it kind of depends on how big you want to let your polys go too. I mean, like if you don't care if your poly count is just through the freaking roof, you can literally take it down to micromillimeters and just sculpt your little heart's content. I don't think we need to do that personally, but this is probably way overkill already. Okay. But there is a weird shell kind of vibe. I like it. I think that will work for us. Now, let's try something else. Let's go back to layout mode. And go back to our cloth library and grab a belt. And let's rewind so it doesn't freak out. Okay, there we go. 7. G. Rotate. Local. You can see what we're doing here, right? Something like that. We're going to actually just hide this again. Grab this guy, bring it more like that. We can hide this guy too. Okay, there we go. And his friction's high. Friction on this. Don't want to finish yet. We're not ready to finish. Okay. We want cloth quality there. Shrink it. We want to shrink it quite a bit. Let's try 0.25. See if we can pull it in so it touches him. Let's see what it does. I mean, cool. That's really all we needed to do. Because once we put, it's too high up though. So let's undo that. Reset. And let's rotate it a little more this way even. And play. Pause. That's where I want it. And it's going to go under his shirt, I think. Finish cloth, finish and apply cloth. Apply subdiv, apply solidify thickness. There we go. Because we kind of like it there. It's good. And it's punching up against him pretty tight because we shrunk it down. That worked. We do want to, object mode, save. Let's go to sculpt mode. And I can see already, I just want to push it in a little bit there. Grab the right one. Push it in, push it in. Cool. Then I'm going to grab a shirt, sculpt it, and pull it out. So it goes over that. And if we were worried about being super realistic, we could have run the sim with it as a separate, like done it first and then run the sim underneath and all that kind of stuff, but we didn't, and that's fine. I'm just going to grab this thing again and sculpt mode. I'm just going to bring this one down, just part down, just a bit. I'm not worried if it's realistic. I just want a belt. Save. Okay, so he's got his kind of weird bumpy thing, shoulder pad. He's got his shirt. We already had pants. There's a way in this tool now, and I really want to figure it out to do to draw on clothes and have them pull them out. Simply skin strike. Draw cloth sets. Can I draw like this? Oh, maybe that's how it works. Invert. No, I haven't. It's just cool. I want to try it. Draw cloth sets. Shrink it down, and I want to give him like. Oh, I'm on that. Let's select that. Draw cloth sets. Something like that. Does it go all the way around? No. I'm just curious. We're playing here. Oh, do I have to do it all at one time? Is that what it is? I can't Alt-Z it and do it. Okay. Extract face set? Which face set does it give us? This would be super helpful if we could do it. I just want to do the whole dude though. Doesn't seem to want to extract. Done. No. Didn't work. All right, well, we're just playing here. Let's see if we can figure out how to do it. Create a new mesh object, clean. No, I just want to select this whole thing. Invert. No. I may have to, I know I'll have to figure this out how to do this, but I don't know right now. We'll do it the old way. I can do this on my own. It adds stuff, but we can do this on our own. So we don't have anything weird. Good. Come into here. We're just going to grab him. No, not that way. This way. That looks like a good kick-ass kind of bracer. Maybe one more down this way, two more down this way, maybe one less that way. That feels like a bracer to me. Shift D, P, section. Cool, grab it, Q. Solidify it. Behold, the bracer. Okay. And whew, we do not need any of these fucking particle systems on this thing. Come on, there's gotta be a way to delete them all, right? Yeah, because it's gonna be a pain in my ass. Well, fine, we're just gonna delete them all. He doesn't need any of those. What he does need, he doesn't need an armature either. Or simply collision. Well, no, he doesn't really need simply collision either. Which is here. He just needs that solidify. And he's got shape keys too. Alright, fine. Shape keys. Delete all shape keys. Because I pulled them out of the base model, it got... Exactly. You know it. Okay. And sculpt. Well, let's give it a material again. I'm going to nuke all these materials. New. And give it a nice orange color. Okay. Save. And sculpt mode. I hope this is interesting. Like I said, this is not something that I am particularly comfortable doing, but that doesn't like when I started this channel, my rule to myself was I wasn't going to not do things that I wasn't sure how to do. I don't want to be an expert. I wanted to do my work. So you get my work. And sometimes that means you get shit that I don't know how to do very well. And this is one of those times. And I'm okay with that if you're okay with that. Okay. Now let's voxel remesh. And again, was it 0.0001? We'll do that twice as much as the other one just right now. Whoa! Okay, something happened weird. Layout. Let's just see. Control A, rotation scale. Tab. There it is. It's good. Sculpting. Remesh. Whoo, dog. Okay, so something's odd. Is there anything weird that I need to pay attention to? Has no shape keys. Oh, has a solidify modifier. Thought I applied that. Okay. And yeah, it is a good way to learn, Brian. It's just a matter of that, like, sometimes people don't like to look stupid on screen. Okay, now we go. Now we're good. I, on the other hand, don't mind looking stupid anytime. No. We're going to go half, though. Okay, and now we can smooth it. And come on, select the thing already. There we go. Like I'm trying to change tools, and it's like, no. Okay. He's got some thickness. We can pull it out a little bit. It's a little too tight to his body right now. There we go. I think when I did my solidify, I probably had it go the other direction. I see. It's fine. Exciting, exciting. Okay. Cool. So, we can. Is this the straight brush? Which one are we on? This one. Go to the sculpt draw brush. And now I don't just have to use it as stamping. I think I can do, yeah, there we go. We can straight up just sculpt on top of it. I'm going to add a few lines because why not? And we're kind of following the geometry, but we don't have to. And we can, again, part of my problem now with this is that I don't really know how to control the interface as well as I would when I'm doing it on my iPad, so it always feels a little bit clunky to me. And that's just experience. I know that if I did this more, I would care less. So it's a good reason to do it more, but it's hard to work through that. Like I find that because I have a tool I know how to do this on already, unless I'm doing something that that tool doesn't do super well, I was like, why would I bother? Like, I'll do that one. That was too thick. Go closer. There we go. Okay, so we got some of those, and now let's go the other direction. And what was it called? Organic. That's cordyceps, and there's more to. What were the other ones called? Receptors. Yes, I hate it. That's cordyceps still. Receptors. Where are my receptors? Fuck you. F4. Append. I'm going to append them again. I don't care. And I am very, very ADHD, and I have very little patience for not feeling good at something, in all honesty. So it's kind of, do they not get added? There we go. Okay, now we got some. Ooh, interesting. So these are more bumpy, but that's kind of neat. We can do that. Ooh. Oh, I'm digging him. Very cool. Very cool. And then we could throw on some of our cordycepsy things on top of that. Order of operations does matter because it's moving existing polys when it does it. So I don't know which is better to do the big bumps and then the little bumps, or the little bumps and then the big bumps, but it does make a slightly different shape. I know that. So that's cool. I feel like that kind of works. And yeah, object mode. And we can just go to layout, and I'm going to do the cheesy thing and grab that and grab him and mirror it to his other arm. Ooh. And then we got to remember to apply that mirror, otherwise it'll freak out later. Now these things are huge, and they probably won't yeah, rig well. This is a problem, but we'll get to that. We might have to bake it. Now, what do we do with his face? Do we leave him as a pretty boy? I mean, he does definitely look like a pretty boy to me. He's got that, like, you know. My favorite kind of curve, Bezier. um, I actually do kind of want to give him some like weirdo organic BioWare thing on his brain up here. Like he's got this whole thing cut out. That would be cool if we could. And of course, we can. We saved, right? Let's save again. Save again. Tab. come in here, C. I'm gonna grab on that. That looks like a good selection. P section tab. Don't do that. Shift D, P section. Okay, yes. This thing to get rid of all the hair. Good. Get rid of all the shape keys. Great. It doesn't need vertex groups either, but just sure. Delete all groups. Just back to the default bullshit, kind of nothing. Okay. Yeah. Let's Q solidify out to there. Oh, Bezier curves are fun to play with. They're the ones that have the handles for sliding things around. I like them. All joking aside, it's kind of like it's a question of like, just your favorite curve. What's your favorite color? Yeah, I don't know. It depends. But yeah, no. For in here, Bezier curves are awesome. Okay, and then Control 2. Great. Kind of shrink it down to that. And Q. Apply modifiers. So now he's got this weird thing on the side of his head. And we're going to go have some fun with it. Once we remove all material slots, new, and make it, I don't know, purple, blue, whatever. Ah! Okay. Now, my goal with these guys is I don't want them to be Earth primitive tribes or cargo cults. Like neither one of this is not Mad Max, and it's not primitive First Nations people from whatever. I even hate to use the word primitive there, but non-Western. These guys have lost all of the tech that they had 1,000 years ago because they don't have a manufacturing base to keep it up. But they were fucking smart 1,000 years ago. They literally built a DNA virus that allowed them to, crossbreed with an alien species. And now they are here. And this is 30 some generations later, but they are here. So that's what I'm trying to play with is like, yes, we're doing some primitive clothing and stuff, but I don't want anyone to think that they are uneducated even. I'm not going to use the word stupid, but so I don't know. It's an interesting for me. Let's remesh it to again 0.0005. Seemed like a good number. And here we got that. But before that this time, let's see if we can't pull it out a little bit so it's not. And we're going to just warp the shape down and out. Like I want the Empire to be able to learn stuff from these guys. Like these guys have things to offer. So how do we manage that visually? We could even make like a little tendril coming towards his eye, maybe, like that. All the way over. Like it's literally touching his tear duct kind of vibe. Although you don't have tear ducts on that side, but you know what I mean. like that. And we don't want to be off the face. This is what I was worried about here. We got to make sure it's still touching his body. And his hair's annoying me. Object mode. Oh, layout. I'm gonna grab him and let's see if we can't. Human generator is where? Human gen. There. Hide his hair. Great. That's better. Sculpt mode. Drag it so it's not popping off. Yep. It's synced all the way around. It's not coming off. Built on. Okay. And now let's remesh again because we've stretched quite a bit. Okay, now we can go through and add some cordycepty type stuff. Yeah, I'm not liking that one. That one's kind of neat. And I want people to be a little bit horrified, but only a but kind of, but it's also like works. Does that make sense? So, like, you might not want this weird thing on top of you. If it were your brain, we will have that like that. But that doesn't make it bad. It just means that they have made decisions you would not have made. They might be quite effective decisions for their planet. You might still be horrified. Like, I don't know. There's shit that I don't want stuck in the side of my head, but it's still, um, it wasn't dumb. It wasn't like, look at the weirdos doing, ritual scarring or whatever, like, it's not that. Ooh, these are cool. I'm definitely channeling my inner G.I. Joe the movie, if you are old enough to know what I'm talking about. Um, but, hey. Like, what if this thing on the side of his head is actually a creature he talks to? That would be cool. Oh, yeah, the G.I. Joe movie, right? Ooh, that's cool. That also wonks out that edge a bit, which is nice. Oh yeah, okay, it gives it that brain look. Good, 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 good. This is what I'm talking about, like great ways to start sculpting. You can't mess this up. There's literally nothing you could do to screw this up because this is already very, very screwed up. Cordy. I think that might be a little too, so let's push it back. So we'll get it, but we won't. Here we go. Control save. Oh, G.I. Joe wasn't really my thing either, but that movie has some of the intro 10 minutes of that movie has some of the best biotech ever shown in a cartoon. The rest of it gets fucking silly, but the intro 10 minutes is just a masterclass in badass. After that, you can just stop watching. um, but watching the one woman break into the Cobra base is just, whoo, yeah, chef's kiss. It's so good. Told you I'm a nerd. Um, just making sure those edges look sealed. Cool, and they do. Alrighty, layout. So we come to an interesting thing with this guy, and that is I don't want to paint him in Blender. I want to take him to Nomad to paint him, and I'm going to have to probably um, bake all these things, which is going to take a while. So I'm not sure how much more we can actually get done on this guy today, but there's some more we can do. There has to be. Um, let's see. What levels of detail can we add to his shirt? His pants has buckles and stuff, so let's make time to look at him in color. Um, so we can just, his shirt is not sculpted particularly, so we can just use it as a regular texture. And it's probably even already UV'd. I don't remember. Tab A U, Smart UV Project. Sure, that should be good. And let's just give it Guppy Grunge Cloth. It's got a cloth. Cool, that works. I'm good with that. The belt, let's also use Smart UV Project, sure. And give it a leather from Real Time Materials, organic. What kind of would be a cool color? Green lizard. I mean, it feels very, but it might be cool. And we need to change the scale on it a lot because it comes in really small for some reason. There we go. Cool. Those both work. Go back to our guy. Human Gen, turn back his hair on so we can see what it looks like. I don't think we can pose him yet, like I said, because I'm going to need to bake these down because that's big. It's 1.6 million verts, I think. Let's see. How big is it? No, it's okay. It's only 950,000. Yeah, but the whole guy is too big for that. So we are definitely going to have to bake it in order to attach it well. So we want to paint it first. So we're running out of time there. But I'm liking him. I think he's looking cool. We could. Let's do a little more. Let's go to my stuff, geometry nodes, and give him some slime too. Woo, he is covered in slime. That's just funny. Slime gen, not on selection. Okay. We're gonna come in here, tab, and a new, not a shape key, a new vertex group, assign it, slime, tab, come back to here. I could, but it gets hard to reattach them all. Like we're gonna make this into an outfit, and then we can give this whole outfit to everybody. So, and we could make more parts too. But I kind of want to get it working and see what it looks like before I go too nuts. So I'm kind of just making my hero character first. There's our slime. Slime thickness. Let's see what's it actually doing in geometry. Well, it's not bad. It's just getting weird from the other stuff. That actually looks kind of cool. Just apply that. I can't. All right, fine. Modifier cannot be applied. And there are shape keys. God damn you. Okay. Shift D. Now let's just make sure I'm not. Okay, good. He is on his own. Solo him. Great. That's the duplicated one because we're going to remove all of our shape keys. Apply all shape keys. That'll work too. That might be better. Now, objects. Apply slime gen. Cool. Now edit. Good. Select everything that is slimy. P section. Delete this guy. Come back. Yes, he has hair on it because we got it for him. Okay, our base guy. And now we're going to come back and we're going to remove the slime generation. I probably could have just modeled something easier, but we're trying it. Save. Let's see what we got. That material has got a displacement on it, doesn't it? Let's see. Just that. Solo it. Hairy slime is worse than just slime. I'm not going to argue that one. Let's see, shading. There is a displacement. And we're turning it off. Yeah, now he's got a slime necklace. That's cool. I even like it kind of slimy this way. Come back. And we could sculpt on it too if we wanted to, or we could leave it slimy. I'm going to remove the armature and remove the collision and add modifier. Smooth it. Let's see, 10 times. Does it do anything? That's kind of cool. No, because it bumps it up, doesn't it? Let's see. Control 2. That's better. It's not even, which I like. Like, it's not a flat thing. It's definitely a slime thing on him. But that's cool. I like it. We could do more. How much more do we want to give this guy? I don't know. Just for the purposes of seeing what we got. Even if we don't keep this, we can play around. Where's me Nomad Sculpt material? There's that. Actually, I don't even want to grab this one because fine, go away. File, let's see, append. We're going to go grab up animals. Sure. Material. Nomad Sculpt. This is the one that has the other stuff that I built in for this world. And it's not saved into my library. And by other stuff, I mean the Voronoi and the roughness and that kind of thing built onto the texture. Material and Nomad Sculpt matte. And it's going to be black because it has no vertex colors. But we can save, and we'll see. Maybe hell, maybe I'll decide I don't need to paint it somewhere else. But if we can do it procedurally, we're going to call it shoulder pad. He has no advanced tools. Pockets? I don't know. I think there might be some in his pants. He's got a belt. He's got belt loops for sure. Okay, so color attribute and color attribute. This is for our roughness. And for that, I'm just going to nuke that and give it a default roughness of kind of that. It's fine. Color. So we could either get wonky with a Musgrave, or we could pull a material in. Yeah, let's get wonky with a Musgrave or a Voronoi. Yeah, let's see. Musgrave. And connect that to that. And that gives us an interesting modeled effect that we could change the scale on, add more detail to. That's cool, because then we can take it in search and get a color ramp, drop it in, and where it's black, let's grab his nipple color. Where it's white, let's grab slime color. And we can throw some other things. Let's go to ease, make it a little bit smoother between the two, and add some other colors. And hue, let's rotate that around to there. And move it. Get some of that. That's a little sharp though. Well, it's not too bad, but we take it more to here, and then we bring that. The narrower the distance, the sharper the edge is what happens. Linear, maybe linear is better. And maybe another one. Kind of more over here on the green side. And we're getting a lot of very detailed blacks, aren't we? 40. Rotate it around. Heteroterrain, what does that give us? I'm just trying some different hybrid multifractal. Ridged multifractal. Ooh, that's kind of neat. Something like that. Kind of cool. I don't know we'll use it, but it's kind of a neat vibe. We definitely want him to be colorful, I think. So like that's something we're looking at. And let's do another one. Let's do his brain piece. I'm just kind of psyched about playing with it too. Shoulder pad. New and brain piece. And let's shift A and add Voronoi. Not there. Don't do that. There we go. Don't auto connect them. Mix and overlay. So Voronoi looks like that. Increase the scale on it. That's what our overlay looks like. I want to bring our Musgrave up a little bit. Ramp. It just seems very dark. Black to like there. Yeah, that's cool. Now it's that. We can change the colors on this too. You can go so nuts with procedural textures. I want to swap these around. Maybe. I'll make our green darker. Ooh, yeah. That's looking kind of cool. I'm going to add roughness to our ROI and detail. Ooh. Interesting. That might be too much. So we change that color to be more even, but that's kind of cool. We bring the color down on this one now. And more over. No, actually, I think I liked it better before. I like the having the bright, but I feel like that's too much. Is it detail? Yeah. And it's going to be 4D. So I have a W to play with. It's not even moving those around though. Where's it coming from? Let's see. In there, just so it's like that and like that. It's kind of cool. And I'm going to increase the subsurface scattering on this one up to like 0.02. That'll make it a lot more translucent as you look through it. And it'll give more of those bump things. It's like that. Yeah. Cool. Okay. And then we're going to do his arm pieces too, also off of shoulder pad. Go back to that. They could even be the same, and which like it's the same kind of creature, which is kind of cool. I might even be good with that. Call it bracers. And slightly dark, slightly more orange. Yeah, that's cool. And maybe to cross this one instead of Voronoi. Let's just do a noise. Mix them, and we already get something kind of neat, but I like overlay. And factor it up. Let's see what we got. Something like that. Could be cool. And I'll make it a little bit rougher. Let's see. So he could look like that. Would we be good with that? I think we'd be good with that. We could certainly give him a bag and stuff, but that's the kind of thing it's actually easier to do after, not when you're building a clothing set. I mean, we could just literally throw a man purse on his side and he'd be fine for that. But he's got a more modern sensibility, I think, than like someone medieval looking, which is good. I really do like his brain piece. I think that's cool. I think we can make it more extreme maybe on somebody else, but I want to try it and see first. None of these techniques are hard to do. And let's just, for funsies, we'll put him on a ground so we can kind of see what he looks like in a world, even though I know he's not posed, but we won't spend a lot of time on it. Circle. Scale it. Great. Control A, rotation scale, tab, F, I, F4, append, node tree, terrain, open here, geometry node, terrain. I feel like you just see people better sometimes if they're in a space. Down. Okay, there we go. And we can actually turn off this. OGZ. O. Turn back on. Cool. Save. Add a HDR. Let's import again. I'm just enjoying playing with these new ones. From 55 from mattpaint.com. XR. Let's go down later even. So let's do like a 1150. See what this one looks like. And crash. We saved. I won't leave you hanging. We'll bring him back. Don't save. There he is. Dark. Very dark. Let's just bring it up. And exposure 2. And looking pretty cool to me. I think he's got potential. Very heroic pose, gazing off into nowhere pose. Yeah. All right. Let's see. We're just about time anyway. There's our guy. So we generated a shirt and a belt in Simply Cloth. We pulled his pants and his boots from Daz, and then we made this stuff and that. I feel like he's looking all right. Um, I just need to, like I said, do the really painful sit and wait for it to bake for like 2 minutes an object kind of thing, which is just too painful to do on a stream. There are just some things. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't take that long, but 2 minutes feels like forever when you're sitting here doing nothing. At least to me. Yeah. So I'll get him finished up. We'll post him up. Um, It'd be good to go. Um, Thanks for hanging out with me today. Again, just a bit more of a specific thing and less of a scene build, but we're going to use him later. He'll show up. Um, and I will be back again tomorrow, as per usual. I can't believe it's going to be Friday already. Jesus, it's another week. Um, Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you later. All right, bye.